All right, guys, welcome back to the Brush Off the Dust Like a 1700 series. We're continuing on the journey. So our last session had some ups and downs, some blunders by me, and we're going to continue. So let's get started. Let me turn down the sound effects a little bit. Okay, so we're 1593, so we could break into 1600 once again this game if things go well. So we're facing the Sicilian defense. I forget. I needed to look into how to play against this variation more. Oftentimes this bishop comes here, and I'm not exactly sure how to defend that well. Actually, maybe I can do this, and then here. The problem is, so if I go here, bishop comes out. I go here. Take. I think that's okay. Let's just play it. Okay, cool. I get to show you guys, this is like one of my absolute favorite openings. I can't remember, we might have had one game with this so far. I think things might have been a little different or not played out normally, but we'll see how this goes. See, so I could go knight f5 here. No, I could also come back. Knight f5 is generally strong, but if they play, I think let's go knight f5. If they trade, it's fine. We trade. We're gonna. So the plan in this with this setup is to castle queenside and then send these pawns. Assuming they castle kingside. Yeah, let's take with the queen. So their development is very lacking. Oh, you know what? Oh no, I couldn't have thrown in the check because he comes in. Yeah, okay. Queen here, threatening mate. Knight goes back or if pawn up, this knight can also come in. It looks pretty strong. Maybe, I think let's play it because once black starts playing moves like this, they can trade, and I might lose some initiative if I try to just castle. Castling is probably safer, but I think let's force them to weaken their position and then we can castle. Right, so I don't have to do anything. This pawn is pinned, so we're fine here. So I could castle. I could also go knight in. We do have a check here at some moment as well. Knight in. We could go check and then I guess we can't go knight in because this is hanging. All right, let's castle. Oh geez, 1 minute on the clock, man. I gotta pick up the pace in these games. It's really hard to try to explain things for you guys while I do it and keep it interesting while also playing fast enough on the clock. Okay, so this now is a threat. I can just take here though. So they were threatening to take. I guess it would have been fine. I could have just recaptured, but I'll take the free pawn. Now, okay, you go there. What do I do with this? Do I just send the pawns? Let's send one pawn. Oh, I think they're a threat. Okay, so they're trying to chase my queen out potentially. So I could drop back here. I could drop back here. Maybe back here is better because I want to send these pawns up and get an open file to attack black's king. Yeah, let's just go back here, and then now we want to play this. And this is that formation I mentioned in an earlier episode where if I can get a pawn to hit both of these at once, it guarantees that either I'm going to be able to open the G file or the F file. One of them is going to open because, okay, there. Let's go king over. I don't want them to take, and then like me trying to trap seems risky because they can just sack and then I'm very exposed. So this is my plan. You don't want to do H pawn because they can close the position. So they should maybe move their knight here so that if I do play this, they can push. But they did not do that. So let's strike. Now, if they take, this opens up the H file, which will be, potentially dangerous for black. And if they don't take, or if they move the knight, then I can take. Okay, oh, and it's protected. Okay, so maybe we come here to take this and just connect the rooks. So now this rook can swing in. Ooh, this just hurt me though with the... Okay, I can't jump in that way. I can go here and then here. This knight, I have to be careful of maintaining this protection of this knight. Okay, protection just got severed. 25 seconds. I can go here maybe. I could also sack. Oh, maybe we sack because there might be some mates where I can like push and then take and then mate with the queen here. So like they're gonna take and then I take. But then they might win the knight before I have time to enact my plan properly, which is a problem. So like I push, or they're gonna go like here, then I push, then they take. I don't have time to take and then mate. So what do I do after rook here? I guess pawn up. This pawn, but then that blocks my threat. Oh, they didn't do that. How do I defend? I have not very much time. Oh God. Okay, let's go here. If they take, knight takes. Okay, I think we're okay now. Well, this knight's still a problem, so they should go, yeah. Man. Okay, I gotta just play. They're gonna take, and then I need to... So if the queen is protected, so that they can't just like do a weird sack, but I want to take. I have 3 seconds, so I need to have a default move. So I might just go rook g1 by default. Okay. So I think now I'm up a piece. That was a mistake by them. So as long as I can not lose on time here, I have 6 seconds. They have 15 seconds. This pawn is going to fall though. Okay, let's go here. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Okay, we just got to not lose on time. We win the rook here with the fork. Okay, yes. I need to defend this pawn. I can come after this pawn here, so let's go here. Oh, I could have just forked the bishop. Oh man. Okay. Oh, this is actually really uncomfortable because the bishop was dominating me. Okay. All right, Cody, don't. Oh my God, I could have just taken the bishop. Okay. All right. So I might have to just sack the rook here. Let's see. Okay, now I can do this. I have 7 seconds. Okay. All right, there we go. That was a pretty solid win. I felt good about that. Let's do a quick recap. Now that I'm editing this video, that actually was quite a sweat down to the wire there. I think the clock got within like 2 seconds. If you found that even the slightest bit exciting, I think you should drop a like on the video. I also wanted to let you guys know that the analysis for this game gets a little into the weeds. There were quite a few mistakes through the game, and I try to correct a few things after the fact. So if you're into that and you want to see all the intricacies, then keep watching. If not, you can just skip to the next episode and, continue the journey. So whichever you choose, I'll see you there. Okay, so my normal move order is to go knight here, but I always end up with this bishop coming immediately, so I changed the move order this game. I don't know. What would I do if they checked here immediately? Do I block this way or do I block this way? I'm not sure. The reason I don't like that is the reason that's a problem. If I go like here and then here is because I want to castle this way in these games with this setup, but that would allow them to double my pawns. So that's the problem. So I need to evaluate that on my own time. But yeah, this setup is called the English attack or the Yugoslav attack. It depends on Black's setup, which one it is, I think. But okay, this all seems good. Okay, so yeah, I consider throwing this knight check in. However, if I go knight check, they go king f8. The knight is hanging and the queen is hanging. So I would take and then they would win the knight. So I couldn't do that. So I think my order was correct. So when they took the bishop, I recaptured with the queen. The knight is in a strong position, so I don't want to retreat. I want to keep it in a strong position. Wow, the eval bar just went crazy after this. Okay, I found the best move. The computer says queen g5. Castle. Computer says knight h6 check, king g7. It's just kind of dancing around. Okay. Computer did not like that move. Oh, I could have just taken the knight. Okay. So I could have taken the knight. They take with the pawn. Well, they could also take this way, but can they take this way? I guess this is super dangerous long term because I'm going to be able to get this pawn in. So like, let's say some moves happen. Oh, I guess they can do this. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I missed a free knight potentially there. Cody from the future here. I'm going to explain some of the last few moves because I looked through it with the computer and there's a really cool line here. So after they castled, I went queen g5. That was the best move. Once they played g6, I could have taken the knight immediately. And that was the best move. And it kind of seems like maybe we're just trading knights and I win a free pawn, sort of. Like if you look at this exchange, it's like I get their knight, they get my knight. And then I win this pawn. But actually, there's an even better move in this position. So white to play, you can pause the video, see if you want to try and find the move. It's pretty tricky. It's pretty subtle. So it's actually knight to d5. Knight to d5. We have a tempo on the queen. Also, if I were black, it feels like, okay, wait, they're about to, my king is very vulnerable here. So let's say they try to like maybe trade off the queen. So they go queen d8. Now it's white to play with a savage move here. So you can pause again if you want to look for it. And the move is knight to e7, check. Now this would be checkmate. It's almost checkmate. Basically, black has to sacrifice the queen for the knight because our queen is covering these squares. So queen takes, and we're basically up a queen. So if you liked that, I think you should drop a like on the video. All right, back to the game. I think I go up a pawn there because I take, they take, I take, and then I'm up a pawn. Okay. Yeah, this plan was a little flawed because I can't really play. Well, actually, no, I guess I could have because the pawn is pinned. So yeah, for some reason in the game, I thought I couldn't do this, but I guess I also didn't have time because they chased me out immediately. Cody from the future again. There's actually a really nice tactic in this position. You can pause and see if you want to find it. And the move is actually queen takes knight, sacrificing the queen, seemingly. King takes, and then what's the follow-up? Knight to d5. Forking, queen and king. Even if they chase after our knight, now it's defended by the rook. So basically from that sequence, we won a knight, right? So we take their knight, and then we basically trade queens. All right, back to the game. Which was a good play by black, I would say. Okay, so now they're getting their pieces in, they're coordinating, they're consolidating. So now, I think this was actually a pretty important move. So like, let's say I just go pure attack mode here. Oh, I guess the knight defends. I was being silly this game. Because if the knight wasn't here, this is problematic. You don't really want to trap this way. Like now my king is super vulnerable. But I was just rusty and didn't see like, oh, well, the knight defends. So maybe this was inefficient to make the king move. But this is a common move in queenside castle games because now you protect all of your pawns and your king safety is improved. You're also no longer on this diagonal, which later in the game there can be an uncomfortable check. So that's the idea behind that move. Okay, so the reason actually that the computer didn't like this move is because of rook d8. So once rook d8 comes in, our knight is basically trapped. So they're threatening to just take. I only have one defender. But how do I protect this? So I actually can't, like, where would I move this? I can't go here. I can't go here because the bishop and queen both defend the square. So I do have my bishop here, but it's not enough. I can't go here. They just play pawn takes. I mean, I could, but like, it's not very good. It opens up their king, but I'm losing a lot of material for that. So yeah, this is basically super awkward. Queen says or the computer says like queen d2 here. And I mean, this is just not good. Like you don't want your queen behind, like this knight is now pinned, because of the X-ray from the rook. Like, I don't know how you're going to untangle this. So very bad news. And I'm very lucky that my opponent did not see this move. Okay. And with opposite side castles, I'm trying to bust down the door here and they're trying to bust down the door here. And it's just who gets there first. Okay. Now you saw once I got to here where I'm attacking two things, the knight has to move and then I take this pawn and now this is an open file for me to attack the king long term. So now I wanted to complete my development, get the bishop off the back rank, bring this rook over. And the reason I put the bishop here is to take this knight potentially. And then this file is really open. So yeah, things got a little uncomfortable over here because before I put this bishop here, I was planning to bring the knight here if they ever push this pawn. So luckily, I didn't really foresee this. Luckily, this move worked out. I think the sacrifice here made sense. Having this threat. If I had more time to think, it's probably a mistake because rook comes here, and I think they can probably win this knight. Or I have to like defend with the pawn, which kind of shuts down this threat, which was the whole reason I did that. I sacrificed the exchange with the rook in the first place. By the way, the terminology "sacrifice the exchange," if you guys aren't familiar, it's when you trade a rook for a knight or a bishop. So here, when I'm trading here for the knight, that's sacrificing the exchange. I did get an extra pawn out of it, so it's not quite sacrificing the exchange, but okay. Yeah, I think this was all good. All right, guys, I got a couple more tidbits to show you from this game. So from this position, I think my knight move here is actually fine. But the computer thinks that my rook takes knight here is a brilliant move, which is awesome. So pawn takes, queen takes, this is all good. For some reason, I have no idea why I didn't realize that my knight could just take this rook. So that's definitely the best move. Maybe I just didn't really expect them to like just make a blunder like that, or maybe I thought this was kind of already pinned. I don't know. But yeah, so rook takes knight is definitely, knight takes rook, I mean, is definitely the best in that position. And then the final thing here is that the computer also says pawn takes pawn is a brilliant move. I don't know about that. I mean, that seems like a pretty obvious thing to do. Like, this is hanging and like you're trying to like blast open. So makes me feel not as cool about my brilliant move. But whatever, I'm gonna still count it. So, all right, back to the analysis. This move's definitely bad. They can just take the knight. So let's see, what could I have done instead? Computer says rook d1. That makes sense because you're gonna protect here. I don't know if I would have seen that. That's a hard move to see because like you think, oh, my rook's over here, I want to keep it over there. But yeah, so I just lose a knight. This move I think makes sense. Yeah, and then this was a blunder by my opponent because Like, this move would make sense if my queen was undefended. So, like, if this pawn wasn't here and my queen was hanging, then this tactic makes sense because you pick up the queen for free. But as it stands, they're just giving me a free rook. And then we trade queens. So now I'm up a piece. So that was one of the main mistakes by my opponent. And now here I just take the knight just to simplify. I mean, there's like 5 seconds on the clock. You got to just play. So, yeah, I wanted to try to hold on to my pieces. I think I missed... Oh, no, I did get this fork. Yeah. So this fork was nice. I could have forked again here. I was just, 8 seconds on the clock. I was in hurry mode. Yeah, here now I'm attacking the bishop, and I didn't see it, though. Luckily, it was still there. And we got this. So even if we didn't get this where we were going to win the pawn, I was going to, like, let's say I make a move, and they get to here. You can just sacrifice. This is the easiest way to win. Like, now I'm up a knight and a pawn. And so I'll just make a pass pawn over here and win. So, and you can sacrifice the knight for this pawn and then win that way. All right, let's do another one.